Well, welcome everyone to another God experience or Gateways of Destiny. Gateways being the Siddhic frequencies that we are studying. So this week we have, what do we have? We have justice via the shadow of limitation and realism. This is Gene Key 60. And I love the fact that it's Gene Key 60 because the foundation of this word justice is the number six. So 60, which is a six, and it's held by the six. Anyway, I don't know about you, but I am certainly discovering more limitation that I have put on myself. I'm feeling it quite strongly this week. I really appreciate it. Appreciate doing this work with myself. um, with using the Siddhic frequency to bring up, make you more aware of where you're holding the shadow. And that's the beauty of these God calls or God experiences. And I really, really hope that some people will join and we have a nice big group of people working with this stuff because it, while it's meant to be fun and lighthearted and a beautiful gift to the universe to be co-creators with it, it is really our gift is going to come from as the Siddhic frequency brings up the shadow. And that's what's been happening for me is, yeah, and not just me. I think others are feeling it this week as well. I have a friend out there, you know who you are, who has begun limiting themselves in their expression. And they're feeling a little down on themselves. And that's exactly how I'm experiencing this energy. And it really, I recognize the idea of what justice is, you know, the Siddhic frequency, this has been said a million times, I've said it a million times, is about this word justice, the Siddhic frequency of justice is truly about how we perceive what we're seeing in the world, seeing from justified eyes. And it's about seeing things as they are, just is. Everything just is, and everything is okay. Those are seeing through the eyes of God, which is also a number that makes up this word. Um, well, where was I going with this? Uh, yeah, but what I'm beginning to realize what I experienced when I was doing this activation and meditating on justice, the frequency of justice, I really felt, and I can still feel it right now, um, this like aching, this deep wound still in my heart around this word justice and perhaps my interpretation of it. And I could see how clearly I still have an ego identification and attachment and maybe some wounds to heal about this word justice. And it has to do with, and I could see it. I saw how in the beginning, just like Richard said, how I was in school and allotted or applauded for always sitting upright, and being the good girl and doing the right things. And, you know, while I was always, since a young child, working on myself, like wondering, what is wrong with me? I've got to fix myself. I got to fix myself. But to have that added burden of, oh, you're good because you sat upright. You're sitting up straight. You're standing straight. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're living by the rules here. That just made me my entire life. Now I might cry. I have like whipped myself into exhaustion. Like all I ever focus on is I've got to do the right thing. I've got to live in harmony. I've got to do the right thing. Got to do the right thing. And and I mean, I guess that's a beautiful way to live. But at the same time, I also limited myself so much that I don't even know how to have fun because I'm always like self-reflecting. Did I do that right? Did I make a mistake? And I'm always beating myself up. So I've limited myself that I can't even dream. I can't even dream big. Like I can't even dream big into having these God calls, like people show up for the God call. So it became so clear how I have limited myself by limiting myself, by limiting myself to like living by all these rules. I don't really know what I'm saying, but also at the same time, how much disappointment and anger I feel for not being able to witness human justice like, or retribution or whatever you want. Because you see, like in the spiritual community, we're all trying to heal ourselves, be a better people, and blah, blah, blah. And yet there's so much bad stuff, people coloring outside of the lines and doing really, really horrible things. I mean, even just speeders on the street, it's like, oh my God, when will somebody ever get caught when they're doing something blatantly wrong, when you, the person who's doing everything right, supposedly, always gets caught or always gets in trouble, and the bad guys never do. And that really, I have so much anger about that. So I'm really looking at releasing that and really, really working with the protocol of absorbing justice into my cells and trying to perceive these situations differently. Like I have a neighbor that I can't get any justice with anyway. Anyway, I'm being silly. Okay, so enough of that. So I'm wondering if you're experiencing this sense of limitation in you this week. I feel it quite strongly. Now, Richard talks about limitation as obviously a shadow frequency, but the I Ching does not consider limitation a shadowy kind of thing. It is a good thing. There is such thing, a thing called the cosmic principle of limitation, which is called a fate or a karma. And, the universe, these cosmic laws, the universe uses these cosmic laws of limitation to bring people in the form of a fate or a karma, to bring people back into harmony. So a limitation is a good thing. They the universe also uses limitation, or your helpers or your guides or teachers use limitation to limit you, to remind you that you are not meant to do things and create things by yourself. You are to firstly ask your helpers to help you. So sometimes you're limited in that respect because you're perhaps not receiving the guidance that you could that would help you. So you get limited there. And a third way that you get limited is perhaps the helpers or the I Ching talks about limiting you. Say you're working on a project and it's not going right. Well, maybe you're being limited because you're doing something that's safe for the collective ego, or it's not in alignment of your unique expression. So they limit you to ensure that your unique expression is being expressed and not something else. So in one respect, limitation is a wonderful thing. I think it's our greatest teacher. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's what's happening to me, and I so appreciate it. So limitation feels like shackles and a shadow, but really limitation coming from the universe, and it all comes from the universe. It doesn't matter if some limiting situation is coming from a human, all of it is being orchestrated by the universe. So you could actually say that limitation is divine justice. That's just my opinion, and that's how I see it. So anyway, let's take a look at the numbers and see what they have to say. Yeah, let's see here. Share screen. Here we are, justice. The foundation of justice is the 6. Now, the 6 in Hebrew is called the bridge or connector to spirit. But what it really means is grounding creativity into the physical world. And that little symbol means it represents our spine. The six also, a six is a six is a six, no matter what system we're talking about. So first of all, I'm going to switch to the Hebrew tree right here. Up at the very top, there's the six, the Hebrew six, and the number 5. And the 6th and 7th dimensions are where the geometries and the cosmic and the laws of that particular universe are being formed. So once again, as Richard talks about, this is about structure and the kind of the laws that build particular universes. So we have the number 6 as the foundation of this word, but it also comes from the 6th dimension, as well as the 6th ray of creation, which is all about faith and idealism and living by the cosmic rules of harmony. Why else did I want to show you this 6? I wanted to show you that it's a very high frequency letter, even though it's about grounding creative ideas into the ground, into the earth plane. First, we have the 5 over here, which is the illuminating consciousness. So we first receive the idea, the new idea, and the 6 is about the root consciousness. There's missing a T there, but it's about, oh, we receive the idea, but now we have to bring this idea down into our spine and into our nervous system. And this is where the whole idea, the whole inspiration for the God calls came from. The fact that we have to utilize our spine and our nervous system to infuse our nervous system and ourselves with these beautiful words and concepts. All right, so going back to justice. So the 6, the path of realism is the path of magic. And so, of course, creativity into the spiritual. So in order to receive justice, to perceive the world the right way, is that we have to get out of the structure of the mind and do something creative. We have to open up the mind and do a creative act. Think outside of the box. Yes, Kat, you have to do that. Think outside of the box, or just do something that's a creative act so that you stop thinking about the structure that you're in. So creativity in acts, the ability of the word justice or being in this creative space is, the 16 is about seeing life through God's eyes and the ability to ground that creativity into the world. So it's, once again, seeing things as they are. The perception is clear. And of course, the success of this is that, we have grounded this light, this root and illuminating consciousness into the body, into the earth plane. So that is justice for you. I think that's it. I hope that if you're experiencing justice, that you experiencing limitation this week and feeling like, I just feel like I've got a straitjacket on me this week. Like I've taken on so many little feline friends around here that I feel like stuck, like like I'm captured, I'm limited with what I can do in my own life. So if you're feeling that way, then really, really take the time to hold the frequency of justice imprinted into your spine, because here's what happens. The way we feel limitation, the universe will use limitation, or you'll feel a fate and this is how we do kinesiology, right? Your spine gently collapses because it's out of alignment. So if you're tripping or falling or having accidents, something in your nervous system and your spine has collapsed a little, and you're not able to perceive or be as reactive or responsive in the world. So let's all get our justice imprinted into ourselves so that we can remain upright, grounded, and not tripping and having accidents. We don't need any fates this week. Okay, until next time.